Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 10th of May, and on the 4-hour chart here we are looking at this as wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. It's also possible to have wave A sitting here as well. It's just a little bit difficult to count what's actually gone on in this gap here, but this would make this the A wave here, then a small A, B and C here for the B wave. And then we've got 5 waves down here for the C wave here. We were looking for this to move down to cover this gap here. We had this target, but there's also the wave. If this is a wave 4 of this degree here, then this is the 38.2% retracement level. So it's possible that it can come down to this level here as well. So the annoying thing is that wave 4s can get complicated. So we just don't know. There's also the possibility that someone pointed out to me that we could also have a situation like this here as well, where it just gets a little bit larger in this case. Right, so we need to be mindful of that as well in this particular structure that moves up here. I mean, this as a B wave moving up here, it would move up in 3 waves up here. So we wouldn't know if it's a B wave or an impulse wave because it would have 5 waves here, 3 here and 5 here. So we will need to be careful once we get to the 61.8% retracement level, and we'll see what goes on. So the good news here is that if we get 5 waves to the 61.8% retracement level, then we know that we're in a bullish market at that point. If we get 3 waves to the 61.8% retracement level, then we know that that it's corrective at that stage. It's not in the Elliott Wave book or anything, but it's just through observation. So we will see how we go. We'll monitor that when we get as we go with that point there. So as it stands, this is the count here. So if we just go to the hourly chart here, we can count it like this with the A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and 1 and 2 and 3 A, B, C for 4 here, and then 5 waves down here. It does appear that we've got an impulse wave coming up through here, and we have covered that gap. So that was our second target there. So one of the other, we have to look at all the possibilities, right? So this gap here, if we've got this here as wave A here, but wave B here, this could also be a wave 1 here as well, and back for wave 2 here, and then all of this here makes wave 3, and then this would be wave 4 pulling back. So the wave 4 would pull back, and we'll have a look at this from the top here. The 38.2% retracement level is roughly where it is now, 38.2 here. It can go to the 38.2%, or it can go to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. So it could move a little bit higher here. So that particular pattern would look a little bit like this here. So from here, we would look for the A wave here, the B wave here, then down for 1 and back for 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and back for the 4th here, and down for the 5th here. So wave 4s are, they get complicated, and they are very tricky to trade, and you would only sort of trade certain degrees of a structure depending how large the structure is anyway. If this market found the 29 here, then we know that would have that sort of low in place, and then we can just look at either the bullish wave up or a B wave up to this particular point. However, all that said, one of the interesting points here is that this little move up here, it does appear to be impulsive, like 5 waves up here. So after a correction in here, then we can push up higher through here. So what we could do is we could take this here, and if a new high is made here, then we can go long from that point. Okay, we may not get very far, but it's worth a bit of a look at, because obviously if it does move all the way up here, it's like, well, why didn't you get in there then, So just on the tick chart here, 100 ticks. Let me just So yeah, so we're at that low here. So we can count this pretty much as five waves up here. This bit is impulsive here. So the thing here is we're caught in group 2 here. So between 2900 and 2800, we just divide it up into 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8, which is just the Fibonacci numbers really. But with number 8 here, we've got this as group 2 here, so 65, 72, and 80. I won't go into that at the moment, but 72 is important, but also, yeah, I'll just leave it at that, won't complicate things. But look, if 72 becomes the support, then we can look at this as the distribution, the accumulation process here, or the correction, and then the distribution process up through here. So, you can just eyeball that. I mean, what support is a tricky little thing, isn't it? I mean, when the market moves above it, that's not support, is it? It's got to come back and sit on it. So it didn't sit on it here, it didn't sit on it here, it nearly sat on it there. Well, it did really, and you could have been trapped by going long in this little point here, but still we're on the right track doing that, so that would have been a losing trade, but we could do the same thing again. If this market sits on here, then sits on there nicely on the 72, you can go long from that point. In fact, you could just really go long on breaking these new highs here in this case, because we could look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here, and then this also up for 1 here and back for 2 here, and build a building process to the upside here. So taking these highs out here would be the right thing to do. The Nasdaq's much the same as well. So this is the Nasdaq here on 100 ticks from the top. Got a nice 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. We've got the same thing happening here. If we look at Amazon for a moment, so we're just not finished to the upside for this at the moment. So we've been looking at this as, straighten that up a little bit. I'm not the tidiest person in the world, but yeah, this structure here, we called the low in here. We looked at this across here. I did make a few mistakes in here, but certainly got on its way in at this point. I mean, it's on this level here, so that's the trade to the long side here. But we've still got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and that last bar here from last night, we can see that it's closed up off the low there. So we could buy new highs in that space there as well. I'm not sure what's done here. Okay, so just double checking everything. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, third, fourth. That might even be that part there too. Oh no, it's got that extra. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, I mean, all of this can be part of this wave 4 here, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. So, where are we here with that? That's 1900. Look, if 1900 becomes the nice support there, then you can also go long from that point there as well, and we should be pushing up to the major trading level 2 here at that point. Alrighty, I'll just leave it at that. If Friday closes strong, well then Monday's going to follow through as well, and then there's normally profit taking Tuesday morning, more profit taking on a Wednesday, a bit of a V-shaped day, Thursday being the bear day, and then back into that bullish weekly cycle again. So, yeah, buy new highs. Cheers. Thanks.